Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Today I want to share with you a vital message, a message that has the power to transform your life and your financial destiny. The title is simple yet profound. You will never be rich unless you know this. And what is this crucial knowledge? It is rooted in the timeless wisdom of our beautiful Islamic teachings. First and foremost, let us remember that wealth in Islam is not merely about the money we accumulate, but about the barakah, the blessing that Allah places in our sustenance. Without this blessing, no matter how much we earn, we may find ourselves empty and unfulfilled. So the first lesson is taqwa, God consciousness. When we fear Allah, we become mindful of how we earn, spend and give. Taqwa opens the doors to barakah in our wealth. Second, we learn the importance of trustworthiness and honesty in our transactions. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "The truthful and trustworthy businessman will be in the company of the prophets, the truthful and the martyrs on the day of resurrection." Wealth gained through honesty and integrity is blessed and lasting. Third, humility and gratitude play a pivotal role. When we are grateful for what Allah has given us, we attract more. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "If you are grateful, I will increase you." Gratitude increases our blessings, including wealth. Fourth, the concept of sadaqah, charity, is a powerful means to attract wealth and remove hardship. Giving in charity purifies our wealth and invites Allah's mercy. Remember, wealth is a trust from Allah, and sharing it is part of our duty. Fifth, the importance of diligence and hard work. The Prophet, peace be upon him, encouraged us to seek lawful earnings and to strive in our fields. No true wealth comes without effort, perseverance, and sincerity in our work. Sixth, reliance on Allah, tawakkul, is essential. While we strive, we must also trust that Allah's plan is better than ours. Place your trust in Allah, and your efforts will be blessed beyond measure. Finally, the seventh lesson is patience and perseverance. Wealth does not come overnight. It requires consistent effort, patience during hardship, and steadfastness in faith. Brothers and sisters, the path to true wealth is paved with these lessons. It's about combining effort with faith, honesty with gratitude, and reliance on Allah with humility. Remember, wealth that is blessed by Allah is the wealth that brings peace, satisfaction, and eternal success. Taqwa, God consciousness, and trust in Allah are essential for attracting barakah, blessing, and true wealth in life. The first and most fundamental lesson for anyone seeking true wealth in Islam is the importance of taqwa, or God consciousness. Taqwa is the cornerstone of a successful and blessed life, and it plays a crucial role in attracting barakah, or divine blessing, into one's sustenance and livelihood. When a person develops taqwa, they cultivate a deep awareness of Allah in every aspect of their life. This awareness influences their intentions, actions, and decisions, guiding them to earn, spend, and give in ways that are pleasing to Allah. In essence, taqwa is about being mindful of Allah's presence at all times. It is the consciousness that Allah is aware of our every deed, our intentions, and our thoughts. When we act with this awareness, we naturally avoid actions that displease Allah, such as dishonesty, greed, or exploitation. Instead, we are motivated to engage in honest work, fair dealings, and ethical behavior, because we know that Allah is watching and will hold us accountable. This sense of accountability encourages us to uphold integrity in all our transactions, which not only earns Allah's pleasure, but also creates a reputation of trustworthiness that can lead to long-term success and prosperity. Furthermore, taqwa acts as a shield that guards us from unnecessary hardship. When a person fears Allah, they are less likely to indulge in forbidden pursuits that may bring temporary gains but lead to long-term loss or divine displeasure. For example, dishonest earnings or exploitative practices might seem profitable initially, but are ultimately empty and unsustainable because they lack Allah's blessing. The true wealth that stays and grows is the wealth that is earned through halal, permissible means with sincerity and righteousness. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, emphasized this when he said that the best of livelihoods are those obtained through honest and permissible sources. The impact of taqwa extends beyond individual earnings to how one manages wealth. When a person fears Allah, they are more inclined to spend money in ways that are pleasing to Him. such as supporting family, helping the needy, and giving in charity. They understand that wealth is a trust from Allah and it is their duty to use it responsibly. This consciousness encourages moderation and balance, avoiding extravagance while also avoiding stinginess. Such a person recognizes that wealth is a means to achieve good in this world and the hereafter, not an end in itself. Moreover, taqwa brings about a sense of contentment and satisfaction. When we trust in Allah's plan and depend on Him, we become less anxious about our financial circumstances. We realize that our provision comes from Allah alone, and this reliance alleviates stress and fear of loss. It also motivates us to work diligently and sincerely, knowing that Allah's promise is true, and whoever fears Allah, He will make for him a way out and will provide for him from where he does not expect. Quran 65, 2-3. This divine assurance inspires confidence, perseverance, and a positive attitude towards earning and managing wealth. The significance of taqwa is also reflected in the concept of sincere intention. When earning wealth, the intention behind the work matters greatly in Islam. If the intention is to seek Allah's pleasure, to support the family, or to do good, then the effort becomes a form of worship. Taqwa ensures that our intentions are pure and aligned with Islamic principles, which in turn invites Allah's blessings. Conversely, if the intention is solely for showing off or greed, the reward diminishes and the effort may be deemed hollow. In conclusion, the importance of taqwa in the pursuit of wealth cannot be overstated. It is the guiding light that leads to lawful earnings, ethical dealings, and the blessing of Allah in one's sustenance. When a person cultivates taqwa, they create a protective barrier that not only safeguards their wealth from corruption, but also enhances its value through divine blessing. This divine blessing is what elevates ordinary earnings to extraordinary wealth that brings peace, satisfaction, and success both in this world and the hereafter. Ultimately, wealth gained through taqwa is sustainable, meaningful, and aligned with the ultimate goal in Islam, pleasing Allah and earning His mercy. Honesty, gratitude, and charity, sadaqah, are powerful Islamic principles that purify wealth and invite Allah's mercy and blessings. Honesty, gratitude, and charity are fundamental principles in Islam that significantly influence how wealth is acquired, maintained, and spent. These virtues are interconnected and collectively serve to purify one's wealth, attract divine blessings, and foster a spirit of compassion and righteousness within society. Honesty is the foundation of trustworthiness. When individuals conduct their transactions and dealings with sincerity and truthfulness, they build a reputation that attracts opportunities for prosperity and creates a moral environment conducive to economic growth. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, emphasized this when he said, "The truthful and honest merchant will be in the company of the prophets, the truthful and the martyrs on the day of resurrection." Tirmidhi. This highlights that honesty elevates one's status in the eyes of Allah and ensures barakah in one's livelihood. Honest dealings are essential because they establish fairness and integrity in trade and business. When people deal honestly, they prevent corruption, exploitation, and deceit, which are detrimental to individual and societal well-being. Islam encourages transparency and fairness, urging Muslims to avoid cheating, false advertising, or inflating prices. Such unethical practices may bring short-term gains, but ultimately lead to loss of divine blessings and societal discord. Conversely, when a person conducts their business with honesty, Allah's mercy and blessings will descend upon their wealth, making it more sustainable and fruitful over time. Gratitude is another vital virtue that complements honesty in the pursuit of wealth. Being grateful to Allah for what one has received transforms material possessions into blessings rather than burdens. Gratitude encourages contentment and prevents greed and envy, which can lead to unethical behavior or excessive desire for more wealth. When a person appreciates Allah's favors, they are motivated to use their wealth responsibly, sharing it with others and ensuring that their blessings benefit the community. The Quran reminds us, "And He gave you from all you asked for, and if you should count the favor of Allah, you could not enumerate them." Quran 14:34. Recognizing Allah's countless blessings fosters humility and a sense of responsibility to use wealth in ways that please Him. Furthermore, gratitude manifests in acts of charity and helping those in need. Islam emphasizes that wealth is a trust from Allah and that part of being grateful is to share generously with others. Giving charity, sadaqah, purifies wealth and increases it. As the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, charity does not decrease wealth, Muslim. When Muslims give from their earnings, they acknowledge that their provision is ultimately from Allah and that sharing wealth is a means of purifying it and earning Allah's pleasure. Sadaqah also serves to bridge social gaps, alleviate hardship, and create a more just and compassionate society. It reminds the wealthy of their responsibilities and helps prevent greed and selfishness from corrupting their hearts. In addition to individual benefits, charity in Islam has a collective impact. It fosters social solidarity, reduces inequality, and promotes community welfare. The act of giving is not limited to monetary charity. It also includes kind words, helping others, and supporting community projects. These acts of charity attract divine blessings and help maintain social harmony. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "The best of people are those that bring the most benefit to others." Darakutni. By practicing charity, Muslims demonstrate gratitude for Allah's blessings and fulfill their duty to support society, creating a cycle of goodness that benefits everyone. Honesty, gratitude, and charity are also connected through the concept of spiritual purification. They serve to cleanse the soul from greed, arrogance, and selfishness. Honesty ensures that one's wealth is earned in a permissible manner. Gratitude ensures that one's heart remains humble and appreciative. And charity ensures that wealth is shared in a way that benefits society. Together, these virtues promote a balanced approach to wealth, emphasizing that material possessions are not an end but a means to achieve greater spiritual and moral goals. They help develop a mindset that values righteousness over material accumulation, fostering an environment where blessings can flourish. Islamic teachings also highlight that these virtues lead to the lasting barakah, blessing of wealth. Wealth obtained through dishonest means, envy, or selfishness is often fleeting and accompanied by hardship and loss. Conversely, wealth acquired honestly, with gratitude, and spent generously in charity becomes a source of tranquility, happiness, and divine blessing. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "The food of 2 people suffices for 3, and the food of 3 suffices for 4. Bukhari, illustrating that sharing and gratitude increase contentment and barakah. Ultimately, honesty, gratitude, and charity form a moral framework that guides Muslims in their financial dealings. They remind believers that wealth is a trust from Allah that must be earned and spent responsibly. These virtues cultivate a heart that values sincerity over greed, humility over arrogance, and compassion over selfishness. By practicing these principles, Muslims not only purify their wealth but also contribute to a more just, equitable, and compassionate society. This holistic approach ensures that wealth serves as a means to achieve both worldly success and spiritual elevation, fulfilling the ultimate purpose of life in Islam. Effort, patience, and reliance on Allah tawakkul are necessary for sustainable wealth and success, emphasizing that wealth comes through sincere work combined with faith. The importance of patience, perseverance, and reliance on Allah in the pursuit of wealth is profound in Islamic teachings. These qualities are essential for maintaining a balanced and resilient approach to earning and managing wealth, especially in the face of challenges and setbacks. Patience, or sabr, is regarded as a virtue that helps believers navigate the difficulties and delays that often accompany financial pursuits. It teaches them to accept divine decree with tranquility and trust that Allah's timing is perfect. For instance, when one faces economic hardship, a lack of immediate success, or obstacles in business, patience encourages perseverance without despair or frustration. The Quran emphasizes this quality repeatedly, such as in the verse, "O you who have believed, seek help through patience and prayer. Indeed, Allah is with the patient." Quran 2:15-3. This divine guidance assures believers that with patience and reliance on Allah, relief and success are possible, even after prolonged hardship. Perseverance complements patience by urging continuous effort and dedication despite difficulties. It involves steadfastness in one's work, commitment to ethical principles, and resilience in overcoming setbacks. Islam encourages Muslims to persevere in their pursuits, understanding that success often requires sustained effort and unwavering faith. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, exemplified perseverance through his life, enduring hardships, opposition, and trials with unwavering resolve. His perseverance serves as a model for Muslims to remain committed to their goals, trusting that Allah's help will come to those who persist sincerely. Reliance on Allah, or tawakkul, is the cornerstone that binds patience and perseverance together. It is the deep trust in Allah's wisdom, mercy, and control over all affairs. Tawakkul involves making efforts while simultaneously entrusting the outcome to Allah, knowing that He is the best of planners. This reliance provides emotional and spiritual strength, alleviating anxiety and fear of failure. The Quran beautifully encapsulates this concept, and whoever relies upon Allah, then He is sufficient for him. Quran 65:3. When believers put their trust in Allah, they recognize that their efforts are meaningful only when coupled with reliance on divine guidance and support. The combination of patience, perseverance, and reliance on Allah transforms the way Muslims approach their financial endeavors. It instills a sense of calm and confidence, reducing stress and worry over uncertain outcomes. When a person faces economic challenges, these qualities remind them that setbacks are a part of divine testing and that patience and perseverance are rewarded by Allah. This mindset fosters resilience, enabling believers to continue working diligently without despair, knowing that Allah's mercy and blessings are near. Moreover, reliance on Allah encourages honest and halal earning, as it emphasizes that sustenance ultimately comes from Allah alone, regardless of worldly circumstances. These virtues also help believers maintain ethical standards in their pursuit of wealth. In times of hardship, some might be tempted to resort to unethical means or shortcuts to achieve quick gains. However, patience and reliance on Allah reinforce the importance of adhering to Islamic principles, trusting that Allah's provision is always sufficient when earned lawfully. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "Whoever relies upon Allah, Allah will be sufficient for him." Tirmidhi. This assures Muslims that lawful efforts combined with trust in Allah are enough for sustenance and success. Furthermore, patience and perseverance foster humility and gratitude. When wealth is achieved gradually through consistent effort and reliance on divine support, it cultivates a sense of humility and appreciation. It prevents arrogance that might arise from sudden or unearned gains and encourages believers to recognize Allah's role in their success. This attitude nurtures contentment and prevents greed, which can corrupt hearts and lead to unethical behaviors. In addition, these qualities are vital in maintaining mental and spiritual well-being. The journey of earning wealth can be stressful, filled with uncertainties and setbacks. Patience and reliance on Allah help believers remain calm and centered, trusting that Allah's plan is better than their own. This trust alleviates anxiety and fosters a positive outlook, enabling them to face challenges with hope and resilience. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "The strong believer is better and more beloved to Allah than the weak believer, while there is good in both." Muslim. Strength here is not just physical but spiritual. Strength derived from patience, perseverance, and reliance. Finally, these virtues illuminate the ultimate purpose of wealth in Islam. Wealth is not an end in itself, but a means to serve Allah, support one's family, and contribute positively to society. Patience and perseverance ensure that believers remain steadfast in their efforts, and reliance on Allah keeps their hearts anchored in divine trust, making their pursuits sincere and their earnings blessed. They encourage a mindset that values long-term success over short-term gains, emphasizing that true prosperity is measured by spiritual contentment and divine satisfaction rather than worldly accumulation alone. This approach leads to a balanced, ethical, and spiritually fulfilling life, where wealth becomes a tool for good rather than a source of greed or corruption. Ultimately, patience, perseverance, and reliance on Allah empower Muslims to navigate the complexities of financial life with faith, resilience, and trust in divine wisdom. May Allah guide us all to implement these lessons in our lives and grant us true prosperity in this world and the hereafter.